The day-to-day news. Listen in on talks with volunteer groups, documentarians, and financial advisors. Monday to Friday with your host, Tyler Kieft. Catch the Megacast weekdays from 10 a.m. to 11 on Civic Center TV 89.3 and streaming on MyMyTV.com.
This is My Michigan TV, a unique news streaming television network. To watch, simply add our app to your smartphone or smart TV. You can also watch online at MyMyTV.com. My Michigan TV. My.
Get ready for The Splash Live, Greater West Bloomfield's dedicated update show. Events, businesses, and people. Anything and anyone causing a ripple in the community. And now, let's dive in to The Splash Live.
Good morning and welcome to The Splash. Really good to be here. Dave Scott, General Manager of Civic Center TV and the 89.3 Lakes FM. Thank you very much for joining us today. Great Friday, a little cooler here in the West Bloomfield area, but a great Friday. And it's so good to be with you. We are here each and every Monday through Friday for a big block of local programming on all of our outlets, of course, on Civic Center TV, of course, also on civiccentertv.com, where you can watch us. And you can also tune in on Facebook. We're right there on our Facebook app. And we hope you tune in there. You can find us also, of course, on the radio on Lakes FM, and you'll also find us on YouTube. So a lot of different ways to tune in, watch on TV, watch on the web, listen on the radio. We're here each and every Monday through Friday, and it all starts out, of course, with this program, The Splash, and then Tyler Keefe's going to jump in front of the camera at 10 o'clock, and he'll be doing the Megacast. We are very, very local here in The Splash. Tyler Keefe takes a wider look at our area and our region, both locally in the greater West Bloomfield area, along with Oakland County and the entire state of Michigan. So, start program off today. Let's talk about the weather. It's going to be cool today, a little bit cooler, partly cloudy today. This is going to jump off the screen. It already has. You see a high of 48 degrees. My goodness. And even worse is the low, 32. It's not going to snow tonight, but the temperatures certainly would allow it. Warming up a little bit for Saturday, 55, sunny and 63 on Sunday, and then back into the 70s next week. So a little cold spell here as we come into fall. So big news, of course, on Friday nights around here is Laker football. This Friday is no exception. Myself, Tyler Keefe, and others. This is a special Friday night for Laker football. We'll all be doing the broadcast because this week it's West Bloomfield and Oxford. And we're so excited. The Oxford television and radio broadcasters have decided to come over to West Bloomfield and join us. And we are going to work together to do a very special broadcast tonight, a live broadcast of the West Bloomfield Oxford game, and it'll be with myself and Tyler, and then also the guys from Oxford TV. We're going to meet them in a couple of minutes. They're going to be coming on the Splash as well. So we really look forward to that going on. Special live broadcast. Oxford and West Bloomfield. Our TV crews are coming together. Our football team's coming together. You should come out and join us, of course, for the game in person at the Swamp, West Bloomfield High School on Orchard Lake Road in West Bloomfield, or the QR code on the screen is your direct link to get to our live broadcast. And the broadcast is even going to be in more places than normal tonight because we'll be on Civic Center TV. We'll be live on the radio at 89.3 FM. You can go to that QR code on our website to watch. Facebook for the West Bloomfield Schools, the Civic Center TV YouTube, and, of course, our friends and guests from Oxford will be broadcasting in the game. And it'll be the same broadcast, but they'll be broadcasting the game on their YouTube channel. So plenty of places to watch this game, and we hope you tune in for what is going to be a great game this evening. Tyler Keefe had a chance to catch up with our Laker head coach, Tyrese Grice, after last week's victory over Lake Orion. And they talked about last week's game and took a little look at this week's upcoming game. Tyler Keefe and Laker head coach, Tyrese Grice.
Well, just continue to bring the intensity, knowing that, hey, the playoff is coming soon, so we got to make sure that we playing at a high level no matter who we play. Oxford's a good team, good program. They always played us tough and year in and year out, so we're looking forward to playing these guys this week and get back into that winning streak that West Bloomfield's used to having.
Yeah, some of those key players for Oxford in the past, those veterans in the skill positions, wide receiver, quarterback Brady Carpenter having moved on. But this team's still a very strong team that plays well in Zach Lyon's playbook. What should we know about Oxford coming into Friday night?
Well, they play a lot of multiple formations, so it's one of those games where our players got to really pay attention to these different multiple formations. They do a lot of they do a good job flying to the ball, running to the ball. They got a good defense and playing the ball. They lost to Clarkston 2 weeks ago. They only lost 14-3. So they play these games where they stall the game. So we got to make sure we get on top early to make them pass more and not be to our strength.
And with that team in the skill positions, they tend to be very athletic. They tend to be using very similarly to the last couple teams you've played, a lot of misdirection to get their plays started. Your team's been able to step up, particularly last week, and kind of use that misdirection more to their advantage. What are you telling you guys in the locker room and as they're practicing on the field, getting ready for these teams that like to use misdirection to their advantage, but what they need to do to continue to play their positions, play their assignments, and not get thrown off by all the different directions that these teams are throwing their players game by game?
We just got to make sure that our guys train their eyes, trust what they see, and flying to the ball. A lot of times when you got a misdirection, it's all about taking the right angle and pursuit to the ball. So that's one of the things we have to do a good job at this week is pursuing to the ball. If they do get us, we're going to make sure we get 11 men to the ball. So that's something that we have to continue doing. And we just practice those plays. And when we see the formation, given the situation, get an idea of what they're going to do.
We'd be remiss to not talk about the impact of Tate Meir on that program at Oxford High School and the impact of his leadership on football players across southeastern Michigan, around the state, and around the world. Speak to that and how Tate's story applies to really football in general and your team and the leadership that is required to have a successful football team, but also for these players to be successful young men and quality young men going forward.
Well, Tate was a player that really represent Oxford, hard worker, run hard. Unfortunately, the situation that happened to him last year create a whole atmosphere of sorrowness, and so we played this guy last year. He really ran hard on us and ran a lot of yards on us. So I'm quite sure he's going to be missed within the Oxford community, and we're going to miss playing against this guy because he brought it every day. When we saw him on film and when we actually played against him, Tate was a guy that represented those guys. He was a leader on the team. He was a team captain. Anytime you got a team captain and you voted by your peers, that tells a lot about who you are as a person.
And of course, you can learn more about Tate's leadership skills and what he really took into his own personality as those key traits that you need to be a great young man and a great leader on and off the football field. 42 Strong is named the nonprofit created by the Meir family in memory of Tate. Coach, anything else we should know about Oxford to be prepared for this week that may have changed between last week, Friday's game, and today?
Nothing really changed. We're going to watch film today and really get an idea of what they do. That way our players get a chance to really see them and study this team and get ready for them this week.
All right, our Tyler Keefe along with Coach Grice. And obviously, this is not your typical high school football game. For those of us in West Bloomfield who haven't been quite as close to this story as our friends and visitors from Oxford, it will be, I think, a wonderful night to do the broadcast together. Tyler and I are really looking forward to it. And I'm looking forward to meeting Jim Hughes and Travis Wilson from the Oxford television crew, who will be with us in just a minute. And we can talk a little bit more about tonight's broadcast and tonight's game. Make sure you come on by to the game in West Bloomfield. If you can't make it by, of course, tune in on all of our outlets and we'll have the game live for you right here on Civic Center TV, on the radio, on YouTube, and of course, all across the internet. So unfortunately, we live in a state that has a reputation for having some relatively high crime rates, and maybe at one point the highest crime rates in the nation in Detroit. The FBI's rankings just came out of crime rates around our country. FBI issued this annual report compiling the 2021 crime statistics reported by most police agencies across the nation. Our good friends over at MLive did a really good job putting together a great story on their site. I put a QR code up on the screen, and encourage you to go take a look at that article. You're going to see a listing of the most violent cities here in Michigan and the country, and the least violent. Michigan is 4 of the top 20 most violent cities in the nation, including Saginaw, Detroit, Kalamazoo, and Lansing. And surprising, per capita, Detroit is not leading the list. It's actually the Saginaw area. But with every difficult story, we often find a really good story. And the really good story hits very close to home, because if you take a look at the cities in the nation, and this is not just the state of Michigan, you take a look at the cities in the nation that have the lowest crime rate, and there is West Bloomfield Township, the 10th lowest crime rate of any community in the United States. And we find them as the number 3 community on our list as far as the least violent. Independence Township, White Lake Township, and then West Bloomfield Township, followed up on the list by Orion, Shelby, Commerce, Bloomfield, Rochester Hills, Royal Oak, and Midland. So a lot of the outer Detroit suburbs, low crime, still some work to do in other communities. But a big nod today to the chief of police of West Bloomfield, Chief Patton, for the fine work, and the fine work of everyone in our community, doing everything we can to make West Bloomfield and the greater West Bloomfield area a very safe place to live. Again, the QR code in the screen, we invite you to go there and find out more information. And finally this morning, a quick nod to a very hardworking person here in our community, and that is Corey Mills. Corey Mills, today is his last day as the Keego Harbor Department of Public Works foreman. We got some pictures here we can put up on the screen of Corey hard at work. In fact, I tried to get Corey on the show this morning, and I called over to Keego, and they said, well, listen, we'd love to get him on, but he's only working till noon today. It's his last day, and he's out on a backhoe removing tree stumps. So that tells you how hard this guy's worked for Keego. Corey has served our city for almost 5 years. His dedication and devotion to Keego Harbor has always been apparent and appreciated. His disposition and willingness to go above and beyond for our city connected him so quickly with residents. That's all coming from Facebook. Go out to Facebook. You can learn more about Corey Mills. Corey Mills, thank you for your contribution to Keego Harbor and the greater West Bloomfield area. All right, we're going to take a break. We'll be back in a minute. We'll talk about tonight's big football game and have a little chance to talk Oxford, West Bloomfield when we return. Joining us in a moment, Travis Wilson and Jim Hughes, the play-by-play and color hosts of Oxford football, will all be working together tonight, but we meet in just a minute right here on The Splash. We'll be right back.
We'll be right back with The Splash Live.
Let's whoop it up for these moments. Made possible by the COVID-19 vaccine. Keep the cheering going by keeping yourself protected and your COVID-19 vaccines up to date.
It's peaceful, it's quiet, and the noise and stress of life can sometimes disappear.
It's the Great Lakes water. And so what people do ends up in our waterways.
It's for our health and safety, it's for our economy, it's for protecting the environment that we all enjoy and we all need to survive.
So clearing storm drains and the areas nearby of trash and leaves helps keep them for rain only.
We're all about one water in this region. We're all connected. We all have a role.
Let's relish these moments. Made possible by the COVID-19 vaccine. Keep the festivals going by keeping yourself protected and your COVID-19 vaccines up to date.
And now, back to The Splash Live.
Good morning. Thank you for joining us. Dave Scott, General Manager of Civic Center TV. Once a week or every other week, I get a chance to jump in the studio. Always a lot of fun and good to be with you. Of course, the Splash is part of our 90 minutes of live local programming every Monday through Friday. We start at 9:30 with the Splash. Tyler Keefe will jump in at 10 o'clock with the Megacast, and we'll take a slightly wider look at our communities in Oakland County and around the rest of the state. So Fridays are always a big day to be here. I like it because it's Football Fridays, and this is a very special Friday as West Bloomfield and Oxford play at West Bloomfield. We hope you come by. Kickoff is going to be 7 o'clock tonight. But I know a lot of you are going to do what thousands have done over the past couple of weeks and tune in and watch the game tonight. Even more special is we're delighted to be joined by Jim Hughes and Travis Wilson, who do what Tyler and I do every week for Oxford. Hey, guys, how you doing? Good morning.
Good morning. Good. How are you?
Where are you guys right now?
Currently home.
I'm sitting in my car and at the doctor's office. Just got out of the doctor's office. Got a full checkup for the game tonight.
Well, it's going to be such an exciting game. Probably is important to make sure we are healthy. Jim, let's start with you. You're the play-by-play voice of Oxford. Has it been an exciting season?
Yeah, it's been very exciting, actually. I mean, obviously, Oxford in a bigger league, and I know Travis is our stats guy, and he's going to tell you a lot about that. But yeah, I mean, it's been very challenging with at the game, but a lot of emotion there with obviously, coming back strong 42. And I mean, we did win the kickoff, and we were, it was a pretty big deal early on, our first game of the year. I've been kind of struggling. Again, Travis will probably put a little bit more light on that one. But on our last contest, we went to the secondary, and the secondary seemed to fare pretty well. They drove the ball up the field, scored, pushed it in. Even though we didn't win the game, you thought at that stadium that Oxford had won the game with that last score. But yeah, I mean, it's been kind of challenging. Obviously, bigger schools, and that's we'll rise to the occasion. But we, everybody goes there and enjoys themselves, especially up in Oxford, and we've been well received by other communities as well.
Well, and I couldn't be more thrilled, Travis, to have you guys joining us on the broadcast. And no pressure or anything, but Jim has told me that you know more about high school football than anybody. So it's going to be a lot of fun having you and Tyler and the whole crew all on TV tonight.
Yeah, I'm very excited. Very excited to be a part of it. I can't wait.
So it's going to be fun. We're all going to do the broadcast together. And then maybe next year, we're looking forward to coming to Oxford and doing the game on your turf and working with you guys. This is really exciting this year because the MHSAA has gotten out of the way and allowed us to stream these games on TV and let people watch. And I think it's a really big deal. Travis, I assume people in the community responded favorably to your games being on television as well.
It's been fun. Last week we weren't able to stream, and I think I had probably 12, 13, 14 text messages before the first quarter, like, hey, where's the link? What's going on? And people are excited. People are finally able to watch high school football on TV. I mean, it's awesome. It's something I always dreamed of to be a part of, and being able to be a part of the OCTV, to be able to help commentate and throw out all kinds of stats has been pretty much a dream of mine.
All right. Well, it's going to be, I tell you what, Jim, it's going to be interesting tonight because we're going to have this dream team. Maybe I shouldn't say it. It's a little, but we're going to have all four of us here fighting for airtime tonight. It's going to be fun, huh?
I got two things, Dave. Okay.
Yes, sir. All right.
First of all, I'm not in my element. I'm going to be on the sideline. Okay. Now, it's probably going to be one of the coldest nights of the year. We could have done this when it was 75. And the other thing is, I got a little story Travis wouldn't tell you. You want to know how we attained Travis?
No, tell me.
Gosh.
Okay, he wasn't on our first broadcast. Okay, he caught our first broadcast on the stream, and we were kind of shoved down to the right end of our press box because Bally's used it as their game of the week. Okay. Sure. So, we had to peer out the side window, and we were doing the best we could. And Travis chimed in on the stream, and he's like, do you guys have a spotter over there? And I mean, we might have been missing a few things, right? And we're like, we invited Travis down the next week. Come on, Travis, come on down and you be our spotter. And we threw a microphone in his hand, and it's been like a natural thing ever since. And this guy is just phenomenal. I mean, I'll tell you, I can walk away from ever doing another football game and know if we let him do it, it's going to be great.
Well, I appreciate everyone's flexibility. We could have done our independent broadcast, but I think it's going to be a lot of fun working together. We'll make some accommodations and maybe trip over a chord or two here and there, but should be a lot of fun tonight. And Jim, I appreciate you putting on your best winter jacket and working down on the field. We got a special camera that we're going to be able to move around and follow you wherever you go. And I'm really that's going to add a whole nother dimension to our broadcast that we've really not been able to do. So I look forward to that. It's going to be a lot of fun tonight. And I'm so thrilled you guys are coming over and that we were able to put this together for tonight's broadcast.
Thanks a lot.
And
Very excited.
And it's going to be, honestly, I mean, you guys have been close with your team and your community to the challenges. And we don't, in West Bloomfield, know all the stories. So I think it'll be helpful to, just let the people in West Bloomfield understand a little bit more about the challenges that you've been facing in Oxford.
Yeah. We have had this, we've had this occur, and this happened a little bit last year in basketball, because after, obviously, November 30th, I mean, it's been quite challenging with things that have been going on, a lot of emotion at the stadiums, and it still brings you almost to tears or even emotion that we've had other teams show up. Now, I always say they may beat us on the field, they may beat us on the basketball court, but they show up with like Oxford Strong shirts or, away. It's like such you don't see it all the time. And it's really brought a lot of, camaraderie or whatever you want to say to the stadiums or the basketball courts or even the softball field. Again, like they said, they may beat us on the field, but they still show respect by maybe putting on the Oxford Strong shirt. And I mean, that means a lot to our community right now as it's struggling, trying to get back to, it's a new kind of normal.
Well, it's going to be a great night tonight. I welcome you guys to our venue, and I'm really looking forward to the broadcast tonight. We'll have plenty of time to chat on the air this evening. Thanks for joining us this morning, guys. Have a great day, and we'll see you tonight.
Go
All right,
Wildcats.
Sounds great. Thank you.
All right, go Wildcats. The Laker crew and the West Bloomfield crew working together tonight for the football game. Tune in. It's going to be a historic broadcast and hopefully a very enjoyable evening and a great football game. We're going to take a break. We'll be back in a moment. We're going to talk about pets when we return. Don't go away. You're watching The Splash Live.
We'll be right back with The Splash Live.
Now that the vaccine is available for children 5 and up, why do you recommend it?
Kids are part of the community and they can spread COVID.
We're seeing both healthy children getting sick from the virus as well as children with underlying health conditions.
They can easily bring the virus home to other people that are vulnerable and make them sick as well.
This vaccine can change that and keep children safe.
It's essential that your children get vaccinated to protect them, to protect your families, and to protect those in the community around you.
Let's whoop it up for these moments. Made possible by the COVID-19 vaccine. Keep the cheering going by keeping yourself protected and your COVID-19 vaccines up to date.
And now, back to The Splash Live.
Welcome back, Dave Scott here on The Splash Live. We love talking animals on the show, and I also love focusing on businesses in our area, especially those that are so creatively named, like this business, K9 to 5. I love it. Owner and founder of K9 to 5 and K9 to 5 is Liz Blondie, joining us right here on The Splash. Liz, good morning. Thank you for joining us. Hey, what a great name for your company. How'd you come up with that one?
I have to give all of the credit to my husband on that one.
K9 to 5, playing off the 9 to 5. You guys are a dog daycare, and boy, these things are getting so popular around Metro Detroit. And you provide a great service to busy people who have pets and really need a little bit of help keeping an eye on them during the day or when they go away for a day or two.
We do. At K9 to 5, we offer doggy daycare, boarding, and grooming. We have attended overnight care 365 nights a year. So that means that somebody's here with the dogs overnight every night, which I think is pretty important. Kind of sets us apart from other facilities in the area. Because you're right, there's a whole bunch of doggy daycare options and dog boarding options around, and they are just getting more popular in the area. The pet owning population actually increased 5% during COVID. So people are back to traveling and they need some place to keep their dogs.
Well, and you make it fun. And I think part of what caught our attention and part of the reason we called is we noticed you have an event coming up called K9 to 5 Halloween Party and Slows all coming together. Tell us all about the event.
So we're super excited. We've only been open in Commerce Township, West Bloomfield area for a year. So this is the first time that we've gotten to do something really big and fun for Halloween. We're going to be doing free nail trims all day from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. Gift bags for every dog that comes in. We're going to have a little photo station set up for dogs that want to come in costume. We can do just the dog, or we can even do photos of the owner and the dog. We're going to have a prize wheel. And then, of course, we're going to have our friends from Slows to Go here from 4 to 7. If you've never had Slows, their waffle fries, their mac and cheese, their barbecue sauce, and of course, my favorite is their pulled chicken sandwich. It's delicious.
No, they've got great food. So you got all the things all put together: Halloween, fun, costumes, Slows barbecue, all the really cute, fun dogs. It's going to be a ball, a great idea, and a great event. I know the guys have a graphic that they can put up on the screen that promotes us a little bit more. But we heard about it and we thought it was a great idea. Do you guys get attached to the dogs that come to visit you? I mean, they spend a lot of time with you, and you probably get a lot of repeat visitors. Do you grow attached to them as well?
We get so attached to them. I was talking to someone the other day about why he likes working here. And he's like, it's like you get to have 125 dogs, I mean, especially these dogs come in a couple days a week for daycare, or if their parents travel frequently, then they might be here, a weekend a month. And we really do get attached. We think of these dogs and we care for these dogs like they are our own. So it's really nice. I love it. I see so many different breeds of dogs and have gotten to build so many relationships with dogs, and then amazing relationships with all of the owners that come to us as well.
Liz, final question, just a quick one, because you're around dogs all the time. We know that when a dog is happy, they wag their tail. But, I look at dogs and sometimes it seems like they are smiling. Do you ever see that too?
They definitely, when they're excited, they'll kind of open their mouth a little bit, and you can kind of tell that the dog is, what you're going to want to look for actually with a dog's body language is just like real loose, wiggly language. That's when you know the dog is happy.
All right. So the smile is just my thing. The reality is the wagging tail, the movement, and all that. Information, I know you have locations around Metro Detroit other than just your location in Commerce Township right near West Bloomfield. Why don't you take a quick second for a final plug before we have to say goodbye?
Yep, absolutely. We have our flagship location in Detroit's Midtown right near Wayne State. We've got our Ferndale location on 9 Mile. And then, of course, our newest Commerce Township location at 4278 Haggerty. And we can't wait to see so many creative dog costumes.
I look forward to it. Liz, one of my favorite events every year, and I got to go, is this doggy look-alike thing. I think we should do one here in West Bloomfield where people dress up just like their dogs. Maybe a fundraiser for the Humane Society or something. We'll get back to you. Hey, thanks for joining us. I'll try and come out to your event, and we really appreciate you being with us today. Liz Blondie joining us from K9 to 5. Hey, that's going to be it for the show. We got to go. Laker football tonight. Make sure you tune in. Have a terrific day and a great weekend. I'm Dave Scott. So long.